jokes, but I was informed they were awful, and so I'm not doing them anymore, so I'll just kind of be that MC for the night, okay? And so what we're going to do, Jonah Guinn is the headliner, and he's going to come out here and do a set, and then we're going to do this thing called set lists. And what a set list is kind of like a YouTube channel thing, where Zach is going to put up on the screen one like word or phrase or noun, sorry Zach, and then I'll demonstrate. Bear with me if it's not very funny. First time I've ever done this, all right? And I'm going to do some sort of like impersonation or skit or something involving it, all right? All right, Zach, put that puppy up there. Here we go.
Oh, sorry.
Every single restaurant below the Mason-Dixon line. There we go. Because they don't cater to people that aren't white and Christian. There we go. Okay. All right. So that wasn't very good, but here I'll introduce Jonah. He'll come out for us. And with no further ado, Mr. Jonah Maxwell Guinn, hopping out of here. Yep, come on up. And here we go. Let's go.
Also, to get it out of the way, Mauricio said if I didn't say anything in Spanish, he would kick me out. So, hola, ¿cómo estás? How's everybody doing? So normally I'd come up here, and you guys would be like, Jonah, tell a joke. And I would say my love life. But I can't say that anymore. Because guess what? I did it. I'm in a relationship. Yeah, you guys don't know how to react to that. I don't even know how to react to that. I know exactly what's going through your head right now.
Oh my God. You just made a joke about being really lonely and sad. And he's in a relationship. I don't know how we act. We laugh. Am I supposed to clap right now? We clap. I'm just gonna sit here. I'm not gonna act like if you didn't say anything. Let's just be quiet. Oh my God, let's just stare at it. Let's not rise in his own pain.
Okay, it's fun. I want you to imagine skydiving from space while doing open heart surgery on a Pope, and you have the only blood type that can save him, and you've never performed open heart surgery before. That's what relationships are like, but in a good way. So I'm afraid of needles and shots. And I just really don't like the idea of like having something like put into my body with like a metal tube or like taken out, because it just sends shivers down my spine.
Really bad when you get it.
Thankfully, it sends like shivers down my spine, and there's been multiple occasions on which I've like had run-ins with needles, and I've acted out in a really bad way. Like the first memory I have that has started me hating needles has to be when I was 7 years old. I got to go get shots. Let me rephrase that. I didn't get to go get shots. I had to go get shots, because if I had to choose, I would have rather died. So I go in, and there's this sweet little nurse that's saying, "Okay, honey, we got to give you shots now," and I'm throwing a fit. I'm throwing a fit like a banshee from the 7th ring of hell of Dante's Inferno at this point. I am screaming and yelling, like, "Oh God, we gotta calm this kid down." They go to hold me down, and I bite the nurse. Now I have a taste for human flesh. Anyway, so I bite this nurse, and she starts screaming, and I'm flailing and have to get 2 more nurses to come in and hold me down as they give me 1 shot that I could have just taken. Second experience, I was like 10. I go in to get more shots, because you have to get shots in order to survive in this disease-ridden world. So I go in to get more shots, and I start getting really scared, shaking, freaking out. And he's like, "Honey, if you need to, just look away, sing the Itsy Bitsy Spider." So I did. I held up my arm, and I started singing, "The Itsy Bitsy Spider went up the wall. So I believe ever since then that I was supposed to sing the Itsy Bitsy Spider whenever I was given a shot, and that's not the case, because a few years later I had to go to the emergency room and get blood taken, because of like, "What's wrong with you? We need your blood." And this big burly 6'2" bald man who had that thing with his eyes that they don't stay still, so I really didn't want this guy trying to find a vein in me. Says, "Dude, you gotta take your blood. The labs, just give me your arm." I'm like, "No. Can I get a better nurse to do this? Can we not have my blood taken?" He's like, "No, I need you to give me my arm right now." And so I'm having a little bit of a debate with him until he finally says, "Just give me your arm." I'm like, "Ah, God, itsy bitsy spider, I don't know how to stop." And so he never heard of the itsy bitsy spider rule like I was informed. So he says, "Why are you singing?" And I said, "It makes me feel better." And my grandma was losing her shit at this point. So just because I hate needles, I'm not saying that I wouldn't do heroin. Because I would. And let me just take a second to sit in that. I'm not saying that I'm going to walk out of here in a minute and I'm going to go in the streets of Bentonville and I'm going to try to find somebody selling a cue ball of heroin and go to my house and turn it up and just, plunge that needle deep inside me. No, I'm saying that if I ever live to be 100, I'm definitely going to do heroin. Because I'll be laying in my bed. I'll be in an IV. I'll be almost on the brink. And then I'll just be sitting there. I would have been married before. I would have had kids. I would have lived my life completely. And I would take my needle and put it in the IV and ride that sweet high on out of here. That's my choice of death. That is 100%. Rather that than live another 10 years after 100. People are fascinated with death, right? So people love the idea that when I die, this is what's going to happen. When you die, you're going to be dead. It's not an everyday task that you can do. It's not I wake up, I brush my teeth, I eat lunch, I die. No, you die once. One time. Don't act like it's normal just to talk about you dying, because it's not. When I was a freshman, a senior was sitting down with me and said, "I have the coolest way to die." Cool here. I'm not saying I'm not fascinated by death, because I definitely am. I'm guilty. So he says, "Okay, this is how I want to die. If I had to choose the best way, I would go to Walmart. I would go into the sporting goods section. I would get BBs that you would normally shoot out of a BB gun, and I would eat them. Then I would call my doctor and tell him that my stomach hurts. And the doctor, man or woman, would let me come in, and then they would give me an MRI, and I would explode everywhere. Blood and viscera. Let me tell you why that's the stupidest way and the worst plan. First of all, if you're going to go to Walmart and take the time to eat these BBs, what's saying that you're actually going to be able to eat these things? What's saying that they're not going to go down the wrong tube? They're not going to get in your lungs, and you're not going to die from eating those BBs. That's your first mistake. Second mistake is trusting that the doctor is going to have an automatic time right then that you're going to be able to come into. You don't just call your doctor and say, "My tummy hurts." And they're like, "Yeah, cool, just come in right now. I'm not saving lives or anything." No, you have to schedule weeks in advance, or at least a week in advance, to be like, "Hey, I need to come in. I kind of feel bad." No, you don't get to do that. And even when you do go on time, and you do get to be in the doctor's office, they still make you wait in that frigid waiting room, reading Women's Life and other hunting magazines that are just sitting there for everyone, like Southern Arkansas looking. And then you have to wait in the room with all the medical equipment for the doctor to finally show back up, and then the nurse does most of the work anyway. So let's humor this. Let's say, yeah, the doctor wasn't doing anything. They just said, "This guy's tummy hurts. Let's get him in here." Why in the hell would they say, "Just throw him in the MRI? You don't have to do anything else. Just put him in there. You don't have to check his temperature. You just put him in the MRI." No doctor would do that. First, they would feel your stomach and be like, "Man, there's something weird in there." Second, they would probably put you in an x-ray and notice that you have BBs in your stomach and be like, "This guy's an idiot and has BBs in his stomach. And if we put him in the MRI, we'd be dumb." So they wouldn't do that. But let's say this doctor skimmed through medical school on Vicodins and cocaine he wants to party life, and he like found cheat sheets to everything, and he just like got through medical school somehow. God, dude, let's just throw in the MRI. Okay, so you go into the MRI. If they turn it on, your stomach is gonna explode, yeah, but that doesn't mean you're gonna automatically die. That didn't kill you, you're gonna bleed out. There's gonna be MRI on top of you. That is the worst way, absolutely worst way to die. And also, sort of MRI machine that saved lots of lives. I remember my first mustache. I remember my first chest hair and my first facial hair. I remember all of it. I remember being completely ecstatic and just feeling like I was the king of the world and going to school and being like, hey guys, check this out, flashing my peach fuzz to them. See that? It's a mustache. It means I'm cooler than you. Because automatically when someone gets facial hair or something, they think that they're like just the king of the world, that they're a man. This little thing makes them just, oh God, so cocky. It happened to me. Last week was really good. Kids are really sweet, but they're also really mean. Yesterday, I was volunteering at this thing called Super Kids Day. Now, I was working the water slide, helping the kids get off. The kids were sweet. They didn't need my help that much. So I incentivized them, if that's the right word, to race a little bit. So they get on the top, these two boys. One was a little chubbier than the other. And obviously, he makes it down first, winning the race, because there's a thing called gravity. So he makes it all the way down, and he beats the other kid. And the other kid says, yeah, I'm still faster than you in real life. Kids have no filter. Two little girls. I'm now definitely in the racing mood, and they're at the very top of the slide, and I say, 3, 2, 1, start! And they get down to the bottom, like, first one on the slide wins! And they run, and the girl kind of falls, and almost falls off the slide, and then the other little girl runs to get off the slide first, but she must be a winner. Everybody does it. And pushes the other girl's face in the mud. We're mean. We're ruthless. We're little, ugh. And kids have definitely said mean things to me while I was a kid. Believe it or not, actually believe it, okay, people are mean. So when I was younger, I got made fun of for 3 things. First thing, braces. Okay? Yeah, you're observant. You see I have braces. You see I'm trying to fix my dental problem. Cool, you can make fun of that for trying to better myself. Second thing, you're gay. No, I'm not. There's nothing wrong with it anyway. Why are you insulting me? I don't understand. Third thing, you're Jewish. I'm also not Jewish. I don't understand where they got these. First off, why is it wrong to be Jewish? Why is it wrong to be gay? And why do you hate dental stuff? So I was led to believe that all kids are anti-Semitic, homophobic, and odontophobes. And yes, odontophobes is a real thing. I looked it up. It means the fear of teeth and the fear of dental work. Also, while looking up all of the other phobias, I found out that the man who wrote phobia names is an asshat. A complete douche. He's the worst. And here's how I know. I only had to look at one word to know that this guy was like up there with the douchiest people I would never know. Hippopotomonstrosis phobia, the fear of long words. What kind of like cruel, mean, horrible person gives the name for a fear of long words? Okay. Let's just mess with people. Hippopotomonstrosis phobia. It's like a 34-letter word. People hate 34-letter words. They're afraid of it. Let's just do it. Let's do it. Also looking at little pointers right now. That's why I keep looking at it. Yes. So now I have at least 2 impressions that I'm going to do. My first impression is of a mind disappointing his father. Sorry, Dad. My second impression is of an actor whose career's gone down the drain. It's me, Christopher Walken. Those are the only impressions I have. So my teacher once called me Jewish. Now, we're back to this, because I'm not Jewish, and he knows it, but he likes to mess with me, and he likes it when I throw fits, because he knows that I'll throw a fit, I'll hit a chair, I'll slam the door, and I'll like walk out and come back puffy and puffy, and he thinks it's funny because I get all red and frustrated, and so he's like, Jonah, what's wrong? Jonah. I'm like, the other kids call me Jewish. You're not Jewish, but you're Jew-ish. Needless to say, definitely hit a chair, definitely to left that class for a little bit. So now we're going to do a thing that Paxton and I did called set list. Zach's going to come over here, and I'm going to take a drink of water really quick. This is the set list.
Woo!
Hello?
Test to America. Test to Asia. Test to everything.
What kind of horrible person would you I'm not going to steal it because I'm not a horrible person. Yes. Everybody, welcome to Crazy Jonah's Blind Man Furniture Company. We're the blind that serves the blind, so we're going to be moving stuff around today. Hey, quarter left. Is this not railed? Circus. And I like to pick out the weakest of the clowns, the smallest one that comes out of the car to go onto the litter. And I like to find him after the show. And it's just old multicolored hair. Wants to make it drip, drip, drip. Hear them do the final. Is that all set is? Okay, we're going to go back to the real stuff. So do you guys ever like let your imagination run wild?
Yeah.
And let like just start thinking and you start like imagining it's like thinking in your own head. And if you're thinking it right now, you're probably thinking, oh man, I wonder what my life would be like if I didn't come with this. I wonder what would happen if this guy was funny. Yeah, no, I like to let my imagination run wild. while, I like to daydream, and I like to just like think about all these random possibilities that could just happen, even though they're probably not going to happen. Like right now, what would happen if a man with a gun walked in the room? Would he shoot me, or take me as a hostage because I'm up here with the mic? I like to imagine what would happen if I was the last man on earth, and I would probably sleep for most of it, and then, yeah, that's actually all I would do if I was the last man on earth, work at freeze time. I like to imagine, like, what would happen if I lived in cowboy time, and I had a wife, Maribel, and my 3 children, Jethro, Mary Lulu. And one day I would go out to the ranch, and I would rein in all the cattle so I could bring home some good cooking, bring home something to the family, my 3 little babies, my wonderful wife. And I would find them being mauled by a cougar. And I would hold my wife dying in her last breath. I would hunt down this cougar, and I would avenge my children, Jethro and Mary Lulu. I would find this cougar. Here's where the daydreaming comes in. I'm not sure how cougars or mountain lions use their tails. Do they use them like a monkey can use their tail? Because that's something I'm going to need to know if I'm hunting this thing down. If I'm tracking this, I need to know if I go for its throat and for its claws, will it pop its tail up and strangle me? And you know, if I'm going to hog tie it, do I also hog tie the tail? Just things that I could think about. I also like to think about what would happen in a zombie apocalypse. Me and Paxton have these conversations in depth a lot. We like to believe that we would be this giant, like, badass, like Prince of Darkness. I'll have a chainsaw right here, and I'll be going through zombies with my arm, and just like being so good, so amazing, and just thinking that we do good. Here's what would actually happen. I would lock myself in the room. My whole family would be dead at this point. I would cower in fear in a corner, and if you came to my house, you would hear me silently sobbing, singing Itsy Bitsy Spider. Okay. So I gotta bring it up again, because I'm not Jewish. And I feel like I'm beating a dead horse, but I really need to just pound this, rely a little. There's a possibility, maybe, just a little bit, that I'm Jewish. Let me, on my dad's side, my grandmother is Jewish by choice of religion. I don't follow the holy book of the Torah. No. But if that is passed down somehow with like a little sliver and then another little sliver, there's definitely a little Jew inside me. Also, be careful how you say Jew, because with a little bit of venom, you're racist. So yeah, okay, maybe people from like 4th grade up were right. I'm Jewish, a little. Not enough to like self-proclaim it, but enough to be like Jew-ish. Congratulations everybody, Mazel tov, you win.